Good evening. Welcome to another reading from The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman by Shahrazad Ali. Chapter 8 Money. As a rule, the black woman cannot be fully trusted in money matters between she and the black man. Somehow she equates the amount of money a black man makes or spends on her with how much he loves her. If he takes her out, she expects, from her fairy tale roots, for him to lay out the red carpet. She expects to be entertained in the most opulent fashion, ride in the most exclusive vehicle, and be dressed to the hilt. If the man falters on any of the above, he is considered to be cheap and classless, and she will make a bad report about him to her friends. Her meal may consist of the most extravagant entree on the menu, and she may not eat a bite of it, but she wants the black man to prove that he will buy it for her anyway. She wants to be wined and dined, wooed and cooed, kissed and missed every weekend. She has so convinced the black man that money is what impresses her the most that sometimes he too begins to believe that with money he can get her to do anything. So the near end, so the so near the end of one of her expensive evenings out, she may drop a little hint to her date that she has no intentions of bedding down with him for the night just because he took her out to dinner and spent a huge amount of money on her. If he protests, she becomes indignant and claims that she doesn't understand why he feels like that. If the black woman is married, it is an old adage among black women to advise each other to put something on the side or away for yourself because you never know what's going to happen. This is an old program recommending that the black woman steal a little money, a little at a time, and put it up for a rainy day. The rainy day is considered to be the day when the black man runs out on her and leaves her broke and alone. Going into a marital or live-in relationship that requires financial disclosure is therefore not a welcome commitment to the black woman because she believes she must maintain some financial security of her own. She hides a little money away, but of course, it requires her to lie, steal, and cheat. She may have to skim off the grocery money, the charge accounts, or the utility bills, but she sneaks a few dollars here and there until she has a nice little nest egg. Generally, not enough to do anything big, but enough to perhaps do something special for herself. She repeats this process several times during the relationship and then launches into another lying process to explain where she got the newly purchased item from or to hide it away completely, wearing it out or using it only when the man is not present. If she is if she is working, she does not like the black man to know exactly how much she actually nets. She can't let him count my monies. So she slides around the topic whenever it comes up or hides her pay stubs. She considers money as a private matter, not to be overly discussed or shared. As long as she pays her part of the bills, or whatever the arrangement, she believes he should mind his own business. Disclosure would prevent her from manipulating the budget. If she does put her money into the home community pot, she often maintains her ownership by referring to her contribution as my money. Any money she earns, she considers her money instead of our money. When the black man finds that a black woman has these kinds of ideas about money, ideas like the man has to spend some money on her if he wants her to be pleasant and have a good time. or that money is the measure used to determine if she will see him again and for how long. He recognizes the root of her idea, which is grounded in being a whore. He may change his format and expect the bounty, which in most cases is sex, which makes him the trick. Plus, no matter how it turns out, she will call her friends and brag the next day about how she made him take her out and spend some money on her, and that she didn't do or give him anything back in return. She made the rules, and when it's time for her to pay the cost, she reneges. She also expects the finest of gift for her birthday or other holidays. She judges the black man's sincerity by how much he spent on her gift, or whether or not he had to sacrifice to buy it. If the gift is unacceptable, she calls her friends and tells them about how jive it was. Usually in front of the black man's face, she will feign surprise and happiness and pretend to be thrilled with the gift. She will also buy him expensive gifts as a way to set the scale on what he should buy her when her turn comes around. If she is trying to impress him or get him to care more about her, she may purchase expensive gifts for him without his knowledge or request. She may buy him things to gain some leverage in the relationship. To her, gift giving is connected to ownership. She thinks that if she does a lot of nice things for him or spends a lot of money on him, that he will remember her kindness and not do her wrong. This is her own script, and the black man knows nothing about it, and it is not used as a reason for him to behave one way or the other or another. She rarely gets what she thinks she's paying for, including no refund. If the black man should have if the black man should have occasion to ask the black woman, even his wife, for money, she will agree to make him a loan. And woe to the black man who does not pay the black woman back her money. She will nag and nag, keep score and count of what he owes her until he pays her back. She may keep a tally for a year, compounding interest, reminding him almost daily about his debt to her. She believes that the bottom line of everything is the money. She will buy personal items, usually clothes, for herself and hide them in the back of the closet at her mother's house or girlfriend's house until she sees an opportunity to sneak them in. A few weeks later, she will ease them into her wardrobe, and if her man asks about them, she will make up some story about a sale, or that her girlfriend gave it to her, or her family bought it for her. She will hide the charge account bills or receipts so that her man will never know where the stuff came from. She is selfish when it comes to cash. The black woman will spend umpteen dollars on clothes if she is allowed. And beware of the nearly poor black woman who spends a lot of money on clothes or gifts for her man because she may be neglecting her children to do so in hopes of impressing the man with her love or richness. She will also beg for or implore the black man to give her money on clothes or other frivolities. The black man can never be sure that the black woman needs or uses the money the way she claims she does. She hides money and sometimes begs every time she sees her man, or any man whom she knows well enough to ask for money. The black man is sometimes better off actually paying the bills, rent, or buying the baby shoes himself. At least that way he knows that the money is actually going for what she says she needed it for. She is too slick to just take her word. If the black woman lives with a man, or spends the night at his house, or spends the night at or spends the night at her house, she is known to sneak and look in his pockets and or examine the contents of his wallet. Not always for money, but just to see what he has. If he leaves her alone in his apartment or house, she will look into every drawer and cupboard, checking out every name, address, bill, or scrap of paper. She thinks that the black man is holding out on her, so every opportunity she gets to checks him out to see what he has or holds dear. She wants to look into anything that she thinks will help her learn more about the black man, and she wants to find out what makes him tick, but she is unable to get the real story because of her sneaky practices. Her whole life evolves around trying to find out about the black man. She is just going about it in the wrong way. When given the opportunity, she may take a few dollars out of his wallet without his knowledge. When asked to contribute or share a part of her money, she reserves full cooperation because black women do not think highly of each other when found to be giving money to the black man. This practice is connected to them thinking that if a man asks a woman for money and she gives it to him, then he is making a fool out of her. Again, the money is the measure. Sometimes black women will purposely devise some elaborate scheme to meet a black man who has money, big dough, or connections to other successful people. If the black man has a lot of money and is rumored to spend it, he can just about have any black woman he chooses. Even if the woman does not want him, she will consider dating him if he is known to make a lot of money. The financially successful black man can be ever so nice, but if he is noted for being cheap, many black women will not go out with him. These black men who make or have what is considered big bucks have to be especially careful to the sincerity of the black woman he is dating, because if he's not, he is a prime candidate to be ripped off. Maybe not viciously, but ripped off just the same. Many times black men would like to give the black woman money for what she says she wants, but his other experiences have usually shown him that if he does so, she will start acting like a fool and try to take unfair advantage of him. This knowledge prevents him from sometimes sharing in the way he would like to. On the other side, if she lives with him, she will try to keep up with his money as much as possible. She checks his receipts, his credit card record of expenditures, his glove compartment, his desk calendar at work, and peeps in any other place that she thinks might reveal what he is spending his money on. She is never sure if he is spending his money on another woman or not. She also checks to see if he is contributing too much financially to his extended family members, such as his mother, his brother, or his sister. She makes a mental notation if he spends money on his side of the family and makes sure that soon after she spends some money on her side of the family to keep it equal. She does not ever want to find out that she is covering home expenses with her money while he is giving it giving his to his family. Since she equates control over her life with control of her man and control of her money, she is always on the lookout for suspicious looking signs that hint that he has spent some money she is unaware of. She will ask him how much did he pay for such and such, and then try to verify the price to make sure that he is telling the truth. She never just takes his word for anything. Sometimes he lies because he knows that she cannot handle the truth and will take him through a lot of hassles and changes about it. So he may lie just to keep her mouth shut and to keep from having a fight. In her psyche, money often is the god of her life, and she monitors it closely. Sometimes before marriage, she will spend money like it is water, and there is no end to its flow. She dresses fabulously, drives a nice car, and has a nice place to live. She has beautiful jewelry, credit cards, and take luxurious vacations or trips. After marriage, when she can no longer hide the fact that she has been living on a thin line of financial support, she is ready to dump the entire debt load on her new husband. While he was thinking that she had money of her own and is well endowed, she was only gaming on him to impress him that she is independently in the black. Because times are so hard and it requires a great deal of money to live comfortable, the black woman sometimes works outside the home. In other cases, she devises her own career goals and works because she enjoys it and has little interest in staying home and raising a family as a daily responsibility. Many times, the black man, if it were not for the financial strain it would put him under, would rather have his wife at home in his house taking care of his children and caring for him. The black woman thinks that if she is not outside in the world, that she will not know what's going on or what he is doing. Sitting at home in the house is not appealing to her because it keeps her out of the limelight and she has to totally rely on his reports about what's going on in the business and social world. Plus, she wants to have fine clothes and a lot of extras that the black man's salary usually cannot cover. She wants what everyone else has, and since these things cost money, she is willing to work overtime, beg, borrow, steal, or trade her body for money, and what money buys. Many of her wants are superficial and have no real value when it comes to being a good wife and mother. Gratefully, there have arisen a few black women who realize that a few dollars or a lot of dollars have little value when compared to certain happinesses. Of course, there is another group who insist on paying for dinner or the movie so they can execute what they think is their equality. They also do this to have more control of the outing. If she is one of these types of the proper action for her to take is to place the money in the black man's hand so that he can pay the tabs personally. He must still stay in charge even if they are winning or whining or dining on her money. Money is not the measure of who has the most power in a relationship. The power is distributed according to gender. Due to the black woman not being able to get along with the black man, there are multi-million single-parent households today. They are run and operated by black women with children. Unfortunately, many of these women believe that they are getting along better without a man living with them. They are dead wrong. It is not an easy job to haul groceries alone, pump gas, move furniture, handle all of her business affairs alone, foot the bill for every item or activity in the house, watch television alone, pass up concerts or fairs because she has no date, defend herself and the house alone, attend PTA meetings alone, travel in the car at night alone, or handle emergency repairs alone. Although she won't admit it, there are many times during her day and night that she longs to be with a man and to have one with her to take care of things. But she weighs that idea against what she thinks she has to go through about her money, time, and actions. She still concludes that she would rather not have the hassle. She thinks she has more peace without one. She is sad and she is lonely and she needs a man to complete her world. Her big independent front is all a sham. End of chapter 8.